Have you ever stopped for a second, held a key in your hand and wondered, when did humans first decide that a door needed to be locked? It's such a small thing in our daily lives. A lock on a door, a key in a pocket, the click of security we barely notice. But behind that simple mechanism lies a story that stretches back thousands of years. To ancient civilizations, hidden treasures, royal chambers, and a timeless human fear, the fear of losing what matters most. From the earliest wooden locking systems carved by ancient Egyptians to the intricate metal locks of the Romans, from medieval craftsmanship to the rise of industrial security, and now to a world of digital, biometric and smart locks, the history of door locks is not just the story of an invention. It is the story of how humanity learned to protect its homes, its wealth, its secrets, and its peace of mind. So in this journey, we're not just exploring pieces of metal and keys. We're uncovering how one of the world's oldest security inventions evolved through centuries of war, innovation, craftsmanship, and technology, until it became the modern lock we trust today. This is the history of door locks. The beginning of security. To understand the history of door locks, we have to go back thousands of years, to a time when human beings had just begun settling into permanent homes and storing valuables. As soon as people started protecting food, tools, and personal belongings, one question naturally emerged. How do we keep unwanted people out? That simple need for protection is what gave birth to the very first locks. The first locks in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. The earliest known locks appeared around 4,000 years ago in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. These first locks were made entirely of wood and worked using a large wooden bolt with pins inside it. A specially shaped wooden key would lift those pins, allowing the bolt to slide open. Even though they were simple and massive compared to modern locks, these early devices were incredibly important. They showed that human beings were no longer just building shelters. They were creating private spaces and trying to control who could enter them. The Roman era, from wood to metal. The next major step came with the Romans, who transformed locks by making them from iron and bronze. Metal locks were smaller, stronger, and more durable than wooden ones. Roman locksmiths also developed warded locks, which used internal obstructions so that only the correct key could turn the mechanism. This was a major turning point because locks were no longer just barriers. They were becoming more precise security tools. In Roman society, keys even became symbols of status and authority, and some were small enough to be worn like rings. The medieval period, locks become craftsmanship. During the Middle Ages, locks became more than just practical tools. They also became objects of craftsmanship. Blacksmiths across Europe forged beautiful and complex locks for castles, churches, homes, and treasure chests. Many were decorated with intricate ironwork, but behind that, beauty was a serious purpose: protection. This period also showed that lock-making was becoming a constant battle between security and intrusion. As locks became more advanced, thieves also became more skilled, pushing locksmiths to keep improving their designs. The age of invention and mechanical progress. By the 18th and 19th centuries, lockmaking entered a new era. It was no longer just a blacksmith's craft. It was becoming a science of engineering. Inventors began designing locks that were more precise, secure, and difficult to pick. One major breakthrough came from Robert Barron in 1778 with the double-acting tumbler lock, which required the internal parts to be lifted to exactly the right height before the lock could open. Then came Joseph Bramah, whose famous Bramah lock became known for being so secure that it challenged people publicly to try and pick it. Linus Yale and the modern lock. One of the most important moments in lock history came in the 19th century, with Linus Yale Jr. Inspired by the ancient pin-based concept, Yale developed the modern pin-tumbler cylinder lock, a compact metal lock with spring-loaded pins that aligned only when the correct key was inserted. This design changed everything. It was practical, reliable, and easy to manufacture on a large scale. In many ways, this became the foundation of the modern household lock, and even today, many door locks still work on the same basic principle. The Industrial Revolution and mass production. As the Industrial Revolution transformed manufacturing, locks became more affordable and widely available. Instead of being handcrafted one by one, locks could now be produced in factories with greater precision and consistency. This made them common not only in wealthy homes and institutions, but also in ordinary houses, offices, schools, and shops. Different types of locks became more popular during this time, including mortise locks, rim locks, padlocks, lever locks, and cylinder locks. Security was no longer a luxury, it was becoming a normal part of everyday life. The 20th century, stronger locks for a changing world. In the 20th century, locks continued evolving as cities grew, crime methods changed, and the demand for stronger security increased. Manufacturers introduced better materials, improved key systems, anti-pick designs, and stronger door hardware. One of the most important developments for home security was the deadbolt, which offered stronger resistance against forced entry. Locks were no longer expected to simply close a door. They were expected to actively defend it. The digital era. Locks without traditional keys. By the late 20th century and into the 21st century, the world entered the age of electronic and digital security. Hotels, offices, and secure buildings began using keycards, keypad locks, and electronic access systems. This changed the role of the lock completely. It was no longer just a mechanical device. It was becoming part of a larger security system. Instead of asking only, "Do you have the right key?" a digital lock could ask, "Do you have the right code? Are you authorized? What time did you enter?" Smart locks and the modern world. Today, Dr. Locks have entered an entirely new chapter. Modern homes and businesses now use smart locks, biometric locks, fingerprint scanners, Bluetooth access, and app-controlled systems. A person can unlock a door using a phone, a fingerprint, or a digital code, something that would have seemed impossible to ancient civilizations. And yet, despite all these changes, the purpose of the lock has remained the same. Whether it was a wooden Egyptian lock, a Roman metal key, a medieval forged mechanism, or a modern smart lock, every lock has always served one core human need: to protect what matters. A small invention with a huge history. The history of door locks is far more than the story of metal and keys. It is the story of human fear, human creativity, and human progress. It shows how people in every age tried to create safety, privacy, and control over their spaces. From the giant wooden locks of ancient Egypt to the digital smart locks of today, the journey of the door lock reflects the journey of civilization itself. Technology changed, materials changed, and designs changed, but the idea remained timeless. To lock a door has always meant the same thing: to create a boundary between safety and uncertainty, between what is yours and what must stay out. And when you really think about it, the history of door locks is much more than just the story of keys, bolts, and metal mechanisms. It is the story of how human beings learned to protect their homes, their families, their valuables, and their private spaces. From the giant wooden locks of ancient Egypt to the smart digital systems of today, this journey shows us that even the smallest inventions can carry thousands of years of human progress inside them. Personally, what fascinates me most about this history is how something so ordinary, something we use almost every single day without even thinking, actually connects us to the ancient world in such a direct way. Every time we lock a door, turn a key, or enter a passcode, we're repeating an action that began thousands of years ago. The technology has changed, the designs have evolved, but the human need behind it has remained exactly the same: the need to feel safe. And that, to me, is what makes history so powerful. It reminds us that behind the everyday things around us, there are stories of fear, survival, creativity, and innovation that shaped the world we live in today. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of door locks, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to Dynasty History, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story from the past. And if there's another historical topic you'd like me to explore, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter of history.